I'm hearing that the people at home, while they cannot see our lovely faces, they can supposedly hear us, so. They can see us now too. You all did it too early. My first shout out of the day is to our tech team. Let's give them a round of applause. Oh, no, but seriously, thank you all for doing that work, because this is new and different, and it wouldn't be possible without the tech team. And my second shout out is along the same lines. You know, as we're getting close to the end of this process, I've been really thinking a lot about how much gratitude I have for all of you for taking this risk in doing this way. Like, open bargaining is a risk for everybody, and throughout, it has not always been smooth, it has not always been easy, and you have always all been really gracious, and I have a great deal of gratitude for that, and the members have a great deal of gratitude for that, and that's my shout out of my hands.
Thank y'all all for showing up and packing your room, and making it so cool. And thanks to the tech team for fixing Dan Bryan's error. And you together. Moving forward to an efficient and effective night.
Great. So just a few quick reminders, everybody when you signed in, you know the rules of the room, we've been doing this for a while. Note runners, can you just raise your hands so that people can see you? If you have notes that need to come forward, just make sure that you're one of these lovely team members. Yeah, we've got Aurora and Gretchen on notes, and maybe some other people helping with the notes, and Jake is here to record all of the things that we agree to. He didn't ring his bell today, but he'll make some kind of difference. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so since we last met 2 weeks ago, we did send some responses to the counter proposal and responses that you sent us. And I was wondering, do you want to go through them, or do you how do you want to proceed?
Thank you for asking. Thank you for getting them to us ahead of the meeting, in recognition that we got you hours at the meeting. So it gave us a significant amount of time to go through them line by line, word by word. And we're open to you stating them out loud if you wish. Discuss with so many folks in the room and at home. And we can move forward.
Yeah. A little bit of the long ones, I just kind of summarized.
Yeah, something
like that. Okay, so I think it makes sense to start kind of from page 5, because those are the things that are less new. So on page 5, this is we gave you some proposals, you gave us your responses, these are our responses to your responses to our position. So you said that you would agree to maintain all tentative agreements. We are also in agreement with maintaining all tentative agreements. So Jake, I think you can call this one a win. There we go. See, I knew you'd make noise. Yes. Family leave, we talked last week about, you know, you agreed to almost all of it. There was a little conversation that we had about the ongoing medical needs. And when I read through, I was thinking that the language that we had was pretty sufficient, but I just want to make sure that we're all in agreement that when we do the final tentative agreement revision, we will make it clear that the sick bank language in C1C applies to both child and parent for ongoing medical needs, and that's in quotes, so we want to make sure that those words are actually there, which would include well visits, recognizing that when the babies go to doctor. We're good?
No.
Jake, did that happen?
Thank you.
Dave, there you go. So on number 4, the expanded health insurance coverage, we really appreciate the acknowledgement that our retirees have been really, the choice has been helpful to our retirees. We are willing to accept the choice. We did want to see if there was an opportunity to make one voluntary plan change throughout retirement. That was sort of made during the open enrollment period. The thinking being that it might actually be a money saver if people who like went for the supplemental, maybe realized that they didn't need the supplemental, if they could never change, they're locked into the supplemental, so we were hoping that there might be a little bit of wiggle room on that. But we are willing to withdraw the domestic partner language from the table at this time. We accept the COLA adjustment. Yay, we think that's great. Yep. We are willing to withdraw the extra compensation for hiring committees, as well as the extra compensation for fail to fill on inclusion assignments. We are happy to accept the club advisor rate increase. On the AI outsourcing, we are okay with keeping paragraph 1 and withdrawing paragraph 2, and we look forward to the task force that we will all create to look at all of the ways we are addressing AI moving forward. And tuition waivers, oh my goodness, what an amazing piece, thank you. Just thank you, we got a big thing. And we are willing to withdraw the school libraries. And then looking at the newer proposals that you sent to us. You, in response to your proposal of hiring, superintendent discretion to hire. Okay, yeah, page 3. In response to your proposal to hire people on staff as you see fit, we have a counter proposal that instead of a step adjustment, we would be more comfortable with a hiring stipend for hard to fill, recognizing that we do have hard to fill positions. We do want to provide some way to make it easier to recruit them, but that the notion of changing steps for people seemed antithetical to the purpose of a step system. So that is our counter proposal on that. The teacher workday and the student day. We have spent, I think that I probably personally spent 24 to 25 hours in the past 2 weeks in conversation about these 2 particular items. And while I recognize that they were 2 separate proposals, it's helpful to think about them together. So in terms of the expanded student learning time, we recognize that our students and our teachers could benefit from expanded learning time to meet instructional minutes, as well as to do some of the things like that we know are really good for everybody, like getting back to a longer recess and lunch, being able to have more time for structured breaks and movement in our pre-K through 8th grades. And we've heard a lot the past 2 years from the high school about the high school schedule making it really challenging to make sure that all of the students can take advantage of all of the great opportunities that we have to offer here. And that our teachers, when they lost their PLC time in their day, that's really been, hard for them to work with. So to that end, we are absolutely interested and eager to have meaningful conversation about extending the school day for students. And that conversation is bigger than general, right? It involves the other bargaining units, which is why we are proposing that we engage in that conversation collectively. Task force with bargaining units, district administration, members of the Board of Education, at-large community members, and even including student members, that we really think that this is, we know that we make our best decisions for that. And we propose that we make this one collaboratively. And to that end, we also recognize that at the current length of teacher day, making the changes to the student day would be really challenging. So our proposal is to extend the teacher day a little bit more conservatively than you came in with. To create a window big enough to accommodate a change to the student day. With a little bit of extra teacher work time attached to it, just to make sure that like those end of day conversations can happen. But that really we focus these 3 years on extending the student day. And when we come back in 2028 saying, okay, now that we have a longer student day, what are the teacher day needs still? So the worry being that if we make the window too wide, we may end up with a lot of wasted time that could be inefficient. If we make it too narrow, we're not going to be able to get to the student day. So looking at the two of those together, and you have all of the language, and it's all really wordy. The other piece that we have a big concern with is that we're not having a conversation about extending the teacher day in June. Like, if we had had this conversation in June, it would be very different than having it in November. Many of our families have already signed their childcare contracts, have already planned the soccer schedule, have already arranged their carpools, and to make a sudden change of the work schedule of the adults in working families is really, really challenging. So part of that counter proposal is also that for this year, we just make the Wednesday meeting change and then make the extensions begin next year so that families have a chance to plan better for them. And then on modernizing HR operations, we absolutely accept in spirit. We do have a few revision suggestions. One of them being that we include grad credit and in-service records in those digital operations. And it was really interesting. You put telemedicine onto the list. And that same day, we saw that there were some federal changes that may eliminate telemedicine being covered by insurance in general. So our suggestion is that at this time, we leave out telemedicine enrollment from the contract to allow more time for staff education, promoting opt-in, and to see what happens with the federal destabilization of telemedicine. And revisit that at a later time, 2028, or I like to remind people that there are always MOAs, there are ways to change contract language between negotiations. On the professional compliance expectations, we would just want to make sure that we replace timely with the actual prior documented completion dates, because that we can actually pinpoint. We are very interested in the step and lane, and Brian has made grids, and they are shared with you, and we would like to use Brian's grids. And Brian's salary calculator, which is amazing if you haven't played with it, it lets you actually just put in your step and your lane and your current salary, and it tells you what everything's gonna be, so great, useful tool for everything. And those are our county. And our responses.
Thank you. Thanks for the explanations. Maybe have just a brief amount of time to call this, that I'm going to go on one by the two. And we'll come back and share with you where we are.
Great.
It's 15 minutes.
Awesome.
Why don't we say 5:15, that gives,
15.
yeah, it's four.
Sure, it's 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Welcome.
Hey, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
We apologize for the delay, it took a while to type things up.
That's okay.
And make some copies and all that. good stuff.
That's okay. So we have a bunch of people in the room who aren't gonna see the copy, so maybe you
I'll
wanna,
talk to you,
you're in pocket.
best we can. Again, thank you for the additional minutes to for us to clarify some things and we appreciate your time and the efforts that was put forth to give us some suggested edits and modifications to our original proposals. We are incorporating several of those suggestions, and we have some other things that we suggested, everything, but, and I'll step back, the proposal from the last session, which was in October 16th. As I stated then, we feel are strong proposals that put us in a great position throughout our region as far as compensation, incentives, and other opportunities for us to enhance what we do as far as recruitment and retention. And in ways, the suggested edits to our proposal from October 16 will take us away from some of those beliefs we have, which are strong. Again, this is the largest investment into teacher compensation this school district has ever made. And some of the other incentives that we've added, we know put us in a very strong position throughout our region. And the language was chosen very carefully after looking at contracts throughout our region. In many cases, the exact same language. And altering that language would present a situation where our contract isn't as strong as some of our neighbors. So with that being said, we would like to, it's hard because we're looking at two different documents and they're different numbers. I'm gonna go back to our proposals. And what we are saying is we wish, and this is the district's best and final offer. I know that's a technical term for some, and for some, it may be a strong term, but in no way do I mean for that to be pejorative or to be disrespectful. It's just a technical term for folks watching. This is the district's last and best offer. And with much hope and prayer, we can come to an agreement without us going to the next step. This would have to be described, all right? And then proposal number one around the superintendent's discretion for recruitment and retention, we wish for the language to remain the exact same. For number two, the time to work at work. Thank you for your suggestions, and we tried our best to put this into a soundbite that could be easily digestible for anyone listening, and knowing that we will have some more work to do. We do not wish to implement anything new until September of 2026. For this current school year, we would have everything remain the same, which includes the 90 minutes on Wednesdays, with the alternating approaches that we have currently. So everything this year will stay the same. We won't start anything new until next year. Beginning next year, Wednesday will be 60 minutes. And those Wednesdays will be led by the principal and the instructional leadership team that is led by the principal in the buildings. We heard you when we heard the wish for more equal distribution of the time or more common approaches to scheduling. To have us at the top tier of our region, we need 7 hours and 20 minutes of a workday. Now, we look forward to working with you and the team to figure out how we start times, schedules. There's a lot to be done there, but for folks to be as clear as we can, we want a 7-hour, 20-minute workday, which puts us in a comparable place with others in our region. Now, that's the time to work at work. The expanded student learning time, we wish to stay the same. We reserve the right to work, and we wouldn't want to put as much language as you said. I wrote it down, words. It got wordy. I was told my first day on the job here, process is always more important than the product. And I hope you've seen, whatever we do here, we involve a lot of folks. And there's a lot of public comment. And I've also seen, we try to put that into words, particularly in a document or policy, it can get messy. You have my word and the experience that you've had with Mary and everybody else, including our board, that we don't work with everybody to come up with when we're gonna start school, what that day's gonna look like. But we reserve the right to add those additional minutes, both at the secondary and elementary level. And knowing that the workday is still gonna be 7 hours and 20 minutes. Yes, please.
Can the 7 hours and 20 minutes on non-Wednesdays be flexible? To the needs of the teaching team, so if we have a teaching team that
Yeah.
wants to do it in the morning.
That's what we want to talk about. It can get challenging if we have different teams on different schedules and different doing. So that's something we need to work through, but
Okay.
we're open to that conversation.
Okay.
For sure. And we have months to figure that out.
Mhm.
Number, if I can, again, expanded student learning time, we wish to keep as it is. Number 4, it's a technical thing, and I'm gonna just read it, if that's all right, that, what we wish for the new word to say, all members must utilize direct deposit, digital pay stubs, digital timekeeping, and enroll in telemedicine. District agrees to develop a system to track in-service and grad credits. We're self-insured, y'all. So anything with telemedicine is something we own, it's not something that will be done until we, but the enrollment is an important thing for us. Number 5, professional and compliance expectations. ITA members are responsible for the independent completion of all yearly state mandated training by or before their documented completion dates. I think we're incorporating some of your language and ours.
Yeah.
And that's a good sentence there. I hope I read it for that.
It's a good sentence.
Yeah,
Well, it's not this sentence.
6 and 7, the stepping lane. The stepping lane is a significant concession. I think we're attempting to, over 3 years, fix an issue that's been plaguing our district for 6 decades. And I think we're getting there. And we want to keep it as we roll with the 7 and with the 7, 7, 6, with 5 being the floor.
Yeah.
Maintain all tentative agreements. Maintain all, all tentative agreements. And everything else that we've gone over tonight, we are in agreement with.
Okay.
And I have to say it one more time, this all represents the city school district's best to combine all.
Okay.
Good job.
We are good.
15 minutes.
Wait, sorry. Is telemedicine required of members who don't utilize district insurance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Good luck. That's more.
Lots of things.
Sure, it's not so bad.
Yeah, who makes the grid on the Stephanie?
We need to work together on that.
We need to work together.
Yeah, we have some, and with much respect, I would say that, typically say that, I respect you, they would say something disrespectful. But in recognition of the work that Brian has done, we need to have a system that in our HR office, we can replicate. And we understand, and we have some questions about how we put it together, but we look forward to working again. We don't see significant modifications, but we want to make sure we can run it.
I'm getting a lot of telemedicine questions, and I think that they're not necessarily telemedicine questions related to the proposal. I think they're related to the lack of understanding of telemedicine and how it works with our health insurance in general. Can you give us a quick overview?
Well, maybe this might help for purposes of tonight. We just want you to enroll. You don't have to use it. Our belief system is if you enroll, you will find it very, very beneficial and want to use it. But we will run trainings, et cetera, to help you enroll and understand the benefits of enrolling.
So just
General.
enroll, okay? Yeah.
Perfect. That was improvement. Yeah, I should just very good. You on? Yes, thank you.
Um. Yeah, we'll just go class with the whole. book.
Sure.
It was Chris and.
Sorry. We had to do a weird.
Chris
little-
and
this to each other.
Chris and John.
Yes.
Alright, how are you for a second?
Peter, you okay with me going on?
Yeah.
Okay. So we practiced with all these levels of people and then the captain bean and make the roll call of those one amongst ourselves and we are tentatively opinioning as. As written, understanding that the tentative agreement just moves us to the next phase of wordsmithing language and moving closer to.
That's outstanding. Thank you all for this commitment to us being an excellent district.
We get a roll call our members
Here,
and you guys,
use the mic and
explain.
So we're gonna roll call our members, because as Bob is probably about to tell us, if you, say yes here at the table, and then you go back to your building and say, this is shitty, we don't want it, don't vote for it. There are legal implications where I'm certain the district would reach out to Herb and have this imposed on us without a vote. Okay, so if you are saying no, then you say no, and you have the right to say whatever you want. If you are abstaining, you can't bash it. And you don't need to promote it if you choose not. And if you're saying yes, by all means, go out and I think it's a great contract and good job.
And so I'll just go through everybody, we'll start with the ITA team and then we'll finish up with the exec team and it's just. Is this a tentative agreement? The answers are yes, no, or I abstain. David,
Yes.
Jacob,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Julie,
Yes.
Molly,
Yes.
Carolyn,
Yes.
Emily,
Yes.
Lauren,
Yes.
Gina,
No.
Chris,
I abstain.
Carrie,
Yes.
Jill,
Abstain.
Aurora,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Meg,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Gretchen,
Yes.
I say yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you could call Alan. Van Buren.
Yes.
Somebody doesn't know what it could be. No,
Yes.
that,
Yeah.
Mary,
Yes.
me, yes. Thank you.
Okay. So the next, we do have, yeah, that's correct.
Free phone, that's what we just did.
Julie endorsed.
Yeah. So we are on our way to a pretty transformative experience and contract and that feels pretty awesome. We do have 2 meetings still on the books and I would like to suggest that we consider. Rather than doing a big open November 6th from 4 to 8 to instead, think about if we can do a day working on language on that same day of November 6th. During the day, we could set up a Zoom so that anyone who wants to watch some people in a room write some contract language together, they have the opportunity to do so. The riveting experience of that. That would be my suggestion, but I'm open to other suggestions of how we move from we have a tentative agreement to we have some words on paper.
I would, first of all, thank everyone for your work in this. Drafting the technical language is an ugly business.
I'm an English teacher.
Yeah. Something for a variety of reasons, probably not. It's not made for prime time television. And I would suggest that maybe we start the process of just passing back and forth some draft language. Not necessarily meeting at all until we hammer out essentially really break down to the nitty gritty details, and then we can come back together, go over it. Hammer out just the finest of details, if any, and have a nice celebratory signing.
Um. Let's connect tomorrow, set out a timeline for that, get some kind of commitment to how we want to do that in writing, all want to bring it back to this group and just make sure that they are cool with that. We're gonna keep having our CAP meetings so that we can keep working on those as well, and yeah, I understand
And
that.
just a recognition, there's plenty of time for everyone to weigh in on the language. It's just the process.
Yeah, zooming
It
the.
doesn't necessarily work. The process.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're,
We'll cross.
we
it
got
when
it,
we
we
get
can
back.
cross that bridge when we get to it. Okay. Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody, there's still food, if anybody.
You're-
starts.
You're- that's great.
Everyone-